Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today is Tuesday's request day. Today's map's requested by the creator over on Discord. And it's a creator we have done once in the past, where they did reasonably well, one would say. It was episode 1272. They got 11 stars, which is, well, it's way over the pass mark and it's bordering on being absolutely beautiful. And absolutely beautiful is how I would probably describe today's map. Now, it does feel a little bit lumpy. I think lumpy is probably the wrong word, but it feels a little bit lumpy. It's not a flat map. That's where I need to start. It's not a flat map, but it's playably lumpy. Lumpy? I'm going with lumpy. I'm going with lumpy today. Lumpy won't be on your BonBonBingo card. Other memes will be on there. Maybe Lumpy Bumpy. Oh, help. A daily reminder, save me from this, please. That's right, clicking that like button when you support the channel gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day and changes the subject quite nicely for me. Thank you very much for your support. Today's map is Triplet Bay by whataboutsarah. Whataboutsarah. I like the thumbnail. I don't think it's the most dramatic that we could possibly have used for the map. There's your start square. But it's still a strong thumbnail. There's your terrain heights. If you have a look at the hills, they just feel a bit rounded and a bit lumpy. The resources are strong, no complaints about the resources. The ore does tend to be under the water, but hey, listen, I've done that myself. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, your fishing map looks like this. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? That's a very good question. It's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. And there's a requirement list of 35 items, which is a reasonable amount, including there you can see intersection marking tool. We'll be using there's a custom theme mix where you don't really strictly need to have the theme mixer 2, I would suggest, for today, because we're using the Stray Cats Territory Homecoming theme and Owl's Cinematic LUT. That's the combo today, but it's been put together in theme mixer 2, so that's an opt-in or opt-out. You can select to have the theme just automatically loading if you prefer. So there's that. What more have we got? We've got some walls and some burnt out buildings, both by a creator who thinks they know about map reviewing and they clearly don't, and so forth. Got a little bit of lag on today's map. I put this down to the large amount of trees and the fact that I have the visual settings clicked right up to get as little pop in as possible. But yes, I was struggling a little bit with lag. But it's probably something you won't have too much of a problem with if you turn your settings down just a little bit. But there are definitely a lot of trees. You'll need the unlimited tree mod today for this map, and I'd say though that they're being well used. Sometimes you get the unlimited tree mod because there's a lot of trees and they don't feel well used. That is not the case today. One thing that hasn't been well used, I'll say that very loosely, is the intersection marking tool. It's down as a requirement, which makes me think that the intersections will be marked, but we've just got gaps, and I'm not really seeing where the intersection marking actually is anywhere on the map. There's a possibility that it's being used to clean up the gaps a little bit. There is that. I think I've spotted a little bit of cleaning up of gaps, but the lane markings, which is what intersection markings are all about, surely, the lane markings, there don't seem to be any extra. So again, if you don't want intersection marking tool and you don't have it, I don't think you're going to be missing an awful lot today. So yes, that would have just added a little bit more gloss to what is already quite a glossy map. The network standards are very nice. The routes that the networks take on the whole are pretty good. There's I mean, one or two routes that aren't absolutely to my taste, but I cannot fault them. It's just personal taste, and the routes that I would have taken might have been just a little bit different. I think part of this is being forced by the shape of the map. It's not super hilly, but I would class this as a hilly map. Most of the buildable areas that you see aren't actually flat. They look like they're going to be flat. But when you get in there, quite a lot of them are on a gradient. Now, the gradient isn't too bad. In fact, you'll see that when we actually get down to the start square, the asset of the day, and there'll be a few buildings within the asset of the day. We've got a custom bridge, nicely used custom bridge. You're going to say credit for the custom bridge work. But yeah, when we get down to the asset review, you'll see these buildings plop down, and you'll see they don't make that much of an indent into the actual hill side of the actual start square. So it's buildably hilly, or buildably lumpy, if you like, as I tended to be going along that path at the start. In terms of the terrain, it does feel very rounded. And I felt that actually with the beaches as well when I was looking at the screenshots before coming down to the review. But as I zoomed into the beaches, we'll probably get a beach shot at some point as we do the flyover. So I had a look to the beaches. The beaches actually weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. It's one of those, I think it's the whole map has that roundedness to it. And I thought the beaches were going to be slightly a little bit too rounded. But they weren't. There's your start square, very prettily decorated, as you'd expect by a pretty creator. And What About Sarah is quite clearly one of those creators who has a feminine touch and has created something quite pretty in these intersections and the roundabout here. And we have got is that you? Is that you? What About Sarah? I don't know. What about her? What about her? I think we'll just ignore her from now on. But yes, that is your start square, circular, roundabout thing that goes as a feature point. Well, I've seen little feature points like that before. I think I can't remember which. Well, it was an all-star map. I'm pretty sure it might have been Orchestra by Zosso, and they went with a statue in a roundabout down by the start square. And I don't want to say What About Sarah's a poor creator. I'm not. What I'm saying is Zosso, it was an outstanding creator. Probably is still an outstanding creator. I mean, to produce all-star maps at a bat of an eye, which is what they seem to be able to do, that just goes to show how good they are. Anyway, we could have gone to the edge of the map, with the highways. I've jumped onto the national roads. This one, I find it a bit meh. Yeah, I could have lived without this national road. Again, if you're looking at it and go, well, what's wrong with it? I can't tell you what's wrong with it. I'm just not feeling it, and it doesn't actually go anywhere either. That's the part of the other problem. Roads go somewhere, and it goes here to this roundabout down here, but I don't know why that roundabout would be there. I mean, yes, I know you build a town down there and all that, but it doesn't feel natural. And so I've got a minor grumble with that national road. It's an extension from the road that goes down through the start square. So, I mean, I kind of feel it a little bit, but it's not my favourite part of the map. My favourite part of the map, I think, is the overall shape of the map. I think the overall shape of the map is quite nice. Again, it's a bit lumpier than my taste would allow, but it's taste and there's nothing wrong with it. As I've already said, you can build on these hills and it's not going to be too problematic. Well, you can build on the hills which are clearly not too problematic. There are some hills which are a little bit on the steep side. I recommend against building on those. But this bit along here, how flat is this? It looks flat enough to have a rail line on it, and because of that we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but there are some slopes here. There are some, and they're kind of hidden by the fact that the whole map is just a little bit lumpy. It's a lumpy map, pleasingly lumpy. Anyway, down here we've got everybody's favourite factory. Sorry, everybody's favourite factory and an intermission.
Do all your cities end up looking like ugly, lumpy grids? Would you like to evolve a more organic, natural style city? Then check out BonBonB's Breaking the Grid playlist. Click the I button now.
I think today's map would be a really good one for a Breaking the Grid map. It's got enough shape in it to be a non-grid city map. Triplet Bay by Whataboutsarah. What about Sarah? Should we ignore her from now on? I don't know. Anyway, there's your bridge. Bridge looks perfectly hireable. Hireable? It's perfectly hireable. Oh my god. Poor Bonbon's lost it. Water flow, we have got a spawn point right there in the start square on the old beach there, so you could have drawing and pumping and everything will be fine and you won't get any pollution causing huge amounts of trouble. So anyway, I like the overall shape of the map. It's something about it is quite pleasing. If we put those lines of terrain on, you can see there are some slopes where you thought it was going to be flat. There are some slopes. When we come up to even this area up here, I'm liking the symmetry on these fields is really quite nice. It's symmetrical but not. But even these, if you have a look here, it drops away a little bit. It feels like it's a flat plateau, doesn't it? And it's not really. I mean, there is a bit in the middle that's perfectly flat at the top there. But yeah, that is... it's a lumpy map. No one more to tell you. I'm also like this river again, very pleasing. But if you have a look at the cliffs and the hills going up alongside it, it's bumpy. It's a bumpy map. Without, I know, I think bumpy's not the right word because bumpy would make you think it's unplayable, but it is lumpy. It's a curvaceous map. Oh, now there's a word. It is a curvy map. Ah, there you are. I should start with that next time if I re-record this. We have got custom bridge again. Custom bridge being well worked, and also have a look the vegetation along here. Terrain conforming. There's credit to be given for choosing assets that actually don't stick up in the air when you put them down on the hill, and it was duly noted. It was duly noted. Now back to everybody's favourite factory. I quite like this. I have one minor technical grumble, and that's these sidings are very short. No catenary chaos, which is good, credit there. But these are very, very, very short for sidings. So, yeah, it's just something for next time. There's always room to improve. Always room to improve, especially when it's me. The essential lighthouse. I don't mind this. I don't think it really tells the story, though, of why it is there. I mean, it needs to be there for a reason. But if we go at the other end, we're talking about telling a story, right? Okay, this dirt track, and the other end does tell a story. We've got a roundabout down here, which is obviously predates the highway, and a dirt track, which we got this rocky area at the end here, which shows that something's happened. There's been like an upgrade to the area. There's a story at one end of that, but the lighthouse at the other end doesn't really say anything to me. We've got it's a castle. I like the shape of this castle. There's a lot of technical stuff about it, like the fact that we've got all the doors in the right place. We haven't got any walls going through towers. I think the entrance is actually at this end, though, because you know me, I'm a traditionalist. I do like an entrance to a castle, and there isn't one in the walls. And then there's this. There is this. What do you think this is, guys? I'm going to give you a few moments, see if you can work out what you think this is. Hunting lodge, maybe? Kennel outside, maybe? It's an olive garden. And from what I understand from popular culture coming across from the United States, an olive garden is a restaurant. A popular chain of restaurants, no doubt, actually. But anyway, I might be wrong on that one. I'm sure the Americans watching this show, and there's plenty of you, will tell me if I'm wrong. This symmetry, I like this shape in the middle. It makes the map feel flatter than it is. I think there's not good work going on there. Also, I'm going to say really good work with these lines. These are absolute. Which way were they drawn? Were they drawn left to right or top to bottom? I'm not entirely sure. The work there is exceptional. I'm guessing Move It was used to copy and paste, but that is really nice work. And yeah, you could take a little bow for that. New field work there was superb. And down to the start square, if we put those lines back on, you'll see we have a fairly steepish slope going on there. Fairly steepish, but not too much problem with the assets of the day. So let's go and have a close look at those, shall we? The asset of the day is the Chrysler Homes, the Kiamesha by Chrysler. I see here we are going up a hill and we don't have too much in the way of glitching problems. So yeah, it won't be to everybody's taste, but if you do want to take on a map which is a little bit slopey, then this is possibly one for you. And these Chrysler Homes look absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Apparently one of them is based on a SimCity 4 house, apparently, according to the description. Factoids, because factoids. Whilst we are talking about triplets, Triplet Bay, the studies say, and this is an American factoid, oh, it's all about the Americans today. Studies say that the highest incidence of twins happens in the northeast of the United States, in Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and the District of Columbia. This might be because women in these locations tend to have babies later in life and are more likely to use fertility treatments. In contrast, New Mexico has the lowest twin birth rate. So there we go, factoids because factoids. And so, I'm bowing to the Americans. If you're American, hit that like button now. Chrysler Homes, the Kiamesha by Chrysler. Today's asset pack of the day. Really nice set of houses there. Like them all. Anyway, are you still here? If you are, your chance to vote on today's map. If it's a 1-star map, vote it 1 star. If it's a 5-star map, vote it 5 stars. I messed this one up, I'm going with it. Or is it somewhere in between? Then you should vote somewhere in between. Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right corner of your screen or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But what do I think of today's map? Aesthetically, I like the overall design. I think the theme and LUT combo is very nice indeed. And all told, I think we've got a bit of a winner. I think it's a little bit lumpy to my personal taste, but I'm still okay with it. So I'm going to go for a medium low 4. Detailing, pretty good. Pretty good. There's not really anything, nothing to hold the map down. Nothing that is 3 stars about it, but nothing that's really screaming that I've got to give it a high score. So I'm going to go 4 stars. I'm going to go low end. Gameplay potential. I don't know what to say really. It's playable. There's nothing wrong with it. It's going to come down to personal taste. For me, I think I'm going to match the detail score and go for a lowish 4 stars. 4s across the board. It's not going to let you. It's a map that will not let you down if you want to play it. Triplet Bay by whataboutsarah gets my BonBonB seal of approval. Although it's not, again, one that I think I would be queuing up for. I think if it was just a little bit, I think if the flat areas were a little bit flatter. I'm a flat boy, okay? You Americans would say apartment. Anyway, if you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Be a card. Go on. Use the word of the day in the comments. Score yourself some population points just for fun. I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the WhatsApp series, and I can't promise it'll be as good as this one because it was rather quite nice, wasn't it? See you tomorrow. Have a great day.